the nasty part of this workshop. Exactly what is paraphrasing? And I have to tell you, I employ a graduate assistant that is a tech writer, so if you think any of this looks really awesome, or it's kind of fun and catchy, it is totally because of paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is your own rendition. Oh, I gotta tell you, I don't like the definition. But it is the best one out there. However, some of the words that are used in it don't translate very well. So if you're an international student and English is not your first language, reading the definition may not be that helpful to you, but we got this definition for you out. It says, your own rendition of essential information and ideas expressed by someone else, presented in a new form. So are you guys figuring out yet from listening to me talk? I tend to be a little obnoxious. Whenever I'm doing presentations like this, I'm purposely casual. So do you think I'm going to sound the same way that Cliff Smart would sound, saying the same basic information? No. He's a lawyer. I worked with lawyers for 12 years. I know how not to sound like one. We're going to sound different, but we're going to both be putting the same information in our words. We're going to put our twist on it, our character to it. One of my employees defined me as, I have color. And I liked that. At first I'm like, what are you talking about? I have color. I'm the palest person on earth. My hair glows in the dark. My skin is as white as it comes. What do you mean I have color? And she said, your spirit, your attitude has color, and it shows in my writing. So your writing and my writing on the same topic, my color, my spunk is going to show. Okay? And it should. Even if it is the most boring topic on earth, it should reflect you. All right? One legitimate way, when accompanied by accurate documentation, which means an in-text citation, to borrow from a source, or a more detailed restatement than a summary, which focuses concisely on a single main idea. And again, this re-emphasizes my point of a lot of your formal academic writing, people have a tough time understanding, and instead of asking, they just go on confused. You guys are getting a worksheet. Get out a pen. If you don't have a pen, run out. Ask somebody next to you. If nobody else has an extra pen, go out front and grab some extra pens. I want you to do these sentences on your own, without the input of anybody else. And I want you to paraphrase them, which means put them into your own words. Read the sentence, and the definition says paraphrasing, is to put it into your own words. So I want you to read it, and put it in your own words. Put your flair to it. But you still have to be accurate. You can't just make stuff up, because that would be fabrication, and it's another type of academic dishonesty. First off, do you guys think that this is accurate? I just want to know, do you guys think that 2/3 of college students have been academically dishonest at some point in time? What do you guys think about that? I have done a study here, the CIS department, questioned, we have like 675 students that have answered the questions. I started with the CIS, and then I took it to some of my workshops and had them do this simple questionnaire. I think if you guys look, is it still on our website, the data showing this? I'm not sure. Yeah, guys, you know what? This is accurate. Harvard and Yale, they're up to more like 3/4 of their students openly admit to cheating, that they have cheated. Who wants to share how they paraphrase this? Raise your hand if you think that is an acceptable paraphrasing. Raise your hand if you think that is not acceptable paraphrasing. That is plagiarism. What she basically did, I'm sorry, honey. Now everyone's going to be afraid to raise your hand. Just so you guys know, I fully expect there to be mistakes here. That's why we have this workshop. All right? Basically what you kind of did is you rearranged some of the words. You changed a couple of the words, right? and then you rearrange some stuff. Who thinks, look at yours now, and who thinks that's kind of what you did? Okay, she's admitting that's what she did. You did it? Okay, does anybody now, after we talked about hers and wow, okay, you changed a couple words, you rearranged, how many words do you think you need to have in a row identical?
3.
You think 3 words in a row? Okay, who thinks something different? Typically, it is 3 to 5. Most teachers are going to call you plagiarism at 5. But 3 may trigger it. Wow, that's tough. Anybody in here like music? Anybody in here like Ed Sheeran? How about Harold, is it? And Robin Thicke, that's it. Anybody hear about any problems they've had with plagiarism? In the music industry, there's currently a lawsuit going to the United States Supreme Court talking about how many notes have to be in a row before it's copyright infringement. And that is essentially plagiarism. It's the same thing. And so they are arguing right now over, there's only so many notes, only so many ways you can combine them. So they are fighting the United States Supreme Court to change the law on how many notes have to be in a row for it to be considered copyright infringement, which is kind of cool if you think about it. But no one's fighting for our college students to get a set rule, like there is in the music industry, for how many words. Which means you kind of got to feel your teacher out and find out what's their thing. And they're generally going to let you know how strict they are on this. And you're going to figure it out pretty quickly. Most of them it is 5. That's kind of a common thing. Especially, I did a paper on students that had, what was it? It was a comorbid diagnosis of blindness/low vision with autism spectrum disorder. How many words is that? Is that more than 5 words? So guess what showed up whenever I read my paper through Turnitin and Safe Assign? It was a 44% match saying that I plagiarized my paper, when the problem was I had specific terms that were going to trigger it. Okay? Does anybody else got something for number 3? What paraphrasing we do? Wow, that's not a very long sentence. That's kind of hard to paraphrase. Who wants to share? Yeah, back here.
Academic dishonesty is avoided primarily by the student due to being scared of the consequences of their actions, or because the student was dedicated not to be self-conscious.
You know, you were very careful. Now, you still use the word consequences. Why didn't you give me a synonym for that word? I wouldn't have even bothered to because the word is perfect. And it's one word. Can anybody give me another word for consequences? What? Punishment? What? Repercussions? What's a word that might be in our own academic integrity policy and all over those handouts you were given that basically means the same thing as consequence? The word sanction. And that's one of our problems with the wording of that policy, is people see the word sanction and they don't completely know what it means. I had 22 out of 60 of my students cheat on an assignment for me the first day of class. The question was to name 3 sanctions you could receive if you violate the academic integrity policy. 22 of 60 listed disturb the class, rape, and I can't remember what the third one was because my brain just stopped functioning when I read that apparently I was supposed to rape everybody that violated the academic integrity policy. My brain just stopped. 22 out of 60 of my students. Now, we have 2 problems. What's the first problem? They didn't understand the word. So here the word is consequences, and she did not change it when she paraphrased it because the word is perfect and because she understood what that word meant. She could have replaced it with repercussions. She could have replaced it with punishment, with sanction. And in our policy, the word is sanction, and the problem is the majority of incoming freshmen don't even know what the word sanction is. And so whenever we threaten them with sanctions, they don't know what it means. Now, what's the second problem there? 22 of my 60 students cheated on the very first assignment that they were told to do independently. Yeah, that made for a rough semester. Yeah, one of the kids in the class was an athlete, and they, just so you guys know, our athletes get in more trouble than our regular students if they get caught cheating, just so you know. They get punished through our system, they get punished through their coaches, and now, thanks to new NCAA guidelines, they get looked into, which I just really love. So, one of my athletes in that class, he comes into class one day, comes up to me, and he scoots the chair right here. He sits down, oh, you're fine, honey. And sits down so our thighs are touching. And I look at him, and I say his name. I'm like, what are you doing? And you know what he told me? He says, well, I know you won't cheat off of me. Which was really hilarious. And yes, that student really did sit right next to me, but I made him scoot over a little bit so our thighs weren't touching. All because 22 of the kids cheated, and he didn't want to be confused with those kids, which is kind of neat. And he did bother to look up the word. He did not cheat on the first assignment, which was good. So, who found paraphrasing these 3 sentences hard? Okay. You were supposed to. Because guess what? When you paraphrase, you should not paraphrase one sentence at a time. Why not? It's almost impossible to do without plagiarizing, isn't it? Because you can just mix up a couple words. Or, like we saw, change the meaning of it with a slight misunderstanding of a word. Or just rearrange it, but you still have too many words in a row, so it's plagiarism. You're not supposed to, so please don't even try to. Okay? What if you want to use one of these sentences, though? What should you do? Cite it. Well, guess what? You should cite it even if you paraphrase it. If the ideas came from somewhere else, you should still use an in-text citation. So, I want to use that sentence because, boy, I think they just did a great job with how they worded it. And no way that I reword it is going to be as effective and as powerful. I should cite it, but what else should I do? Not parentheses. What? Quotation marks. I'm a grad student that will never be getting the degree that they were working on from this university because they forgot quotation marks. That's it. They used a citation, but if you have a citation and no quotation marks, you're saying that these are still your words, but the ideas came from somewhere else. And remember when we looked at the definition of plagiarism, they didn't use those quotation marks, so they were saying those were their words. They got an XF. Their program does not allow you to finish their program with an XF, and it all got down to quotation marks. So what should you do to avoid that? How could you avoid that? Well, yeah. Is anybody in here human, though? Is anybody in here make a mistake? So what do you do to avoid those mistakes? Hey, Sierra, do you ever proofread your papers?
Yeah.
You have a whole bunch of sisters, don't you? Yeah. Do you all ever, I don't know, read each other's work ever? Yeah. She lives with one of her sisters, so she has a built-in study partner. Do you guys ever read over each other's stuff? You should. Totally. Or, what I actually recommend is have someone else read your paper out loud to you. And that will catch a lot of mistakes. That will catch a lot of your paraphrasing and your plagiarism mistakes when you realize, oh, no, that wasn't my idea. I didn't know that before I started this paper. I need to have a citation there. All right? So even if you're a native English speaker, you still need to have someone else read your paper out loud because it will catch a lot of these mistakes. Because you may have a teacher that has a very strict policy